Hi, if you want to apply for Czech PR or visa extension, then you take the help of any agency, then it might cost you a fortune. I know in case of PR they charge almost around 26,000 Czech crown. So there are ways to save this money. One is you could apply it by yourself or you can take the help of any NGO. This is Anil and today we will discuss both the options in detail. So first let's discuss the eligibility criteria for a PR. So in simple sense, you have to complete the 5 years in the Czech Republic. Although there are few exceptions, as we know, like for students, they count the time as half. For example, if a student has completed 2 years in Czech, it will be counted as 1 year. And then there are also certain deep calculations that for how much time you have been out of the country and those kind of things. But okay, I assume that you have completed 5 years. Second thing is you have to pass the Czech language exam, or somehow you have to prove that you know enough Czech. In that case, for students, if it's already a part of their curriculum, then they can show some kind of certificate. And even for kids below 15 years, they don't need to pass any Czech language exam. So once you have these basic criteria, you are eligible. Now, second thing is you have to make the appointment. To make the appointment, there's a website of FRS. I will provide the link in the description. You can go there and at the same time you can book the appointment for yourself and even for your family members. Just one thing, while booking the appointment, don't book it too close to your 5 years. I would advise to keep a buffer of few weeks so that in case if you should not be shorts by 2 days or something like that, just for that sake. Okay, so once you have the appointment, second thing is you have to prepare your documents. Now, what are the documents? Even for the list of documents, I'll provide the link, but just to let you know, first is the application form, and even for PR and visa extension, there is a same form. The only thing is you'll have to probably take a check marks, okay, that this is for permanent residence. And the form is pretty simple. It's in English as well as Czech. So you can fill all the details even in English, that's okay. The only point is there is a row number 15 which are asked for the purpose of stay. So if you are not sure what to write, then you can just leave that blank, and when you are at the counter with the officer, they can help you to fill that point. But basically it could be, if I tell you that for example for permanent residence, it could be like after 5 years. So the purpose of stay could be po piet let, something like that. Okay. So once you have the application form, rest are supporting documents. For example, your Czech language exam certificate. Obviously, you need your passport or some residence permit, and then you need a proof of accommodation, which could be your rental contract, or if you own a house, then some kind of document to prove that. And another thing is you need the proof of funds, but it's not like a one-time fund, so you cannot just go ahead and show your bank balance. That will not work. You need to show some regular income. So that could be a combination of your employment contract plus 3 months of salary slips. And those salary slips should be attested by your employer. So that way is enough. And then in case if you're applying for dependents, then there might be few documents like birth certificate, marriage certificate. It all depends, right? But yes, so once you have your documents ready, another important thing is MOI will not accept any photocopies. So either they will take the original documents or it has to be notarized. Now what you can do, you can just simply go to the post office and they can notarize the documents for you for a small fees. But if you are applying, putting multiple applications, say for your dependents as well, then have multiple copies. For example, for your lease agreement, if you are applying 3 applications, have 3 copies of lease agreement. So that way it would be easier. Okay, so once you have all the notarized and everything, now you have to go on the day of appointment. My advice is before you go there, maybe a day before something, have use the translator and have the basic Czech translation. So I'll explain you. Don't make it very complex, but very simple. For example, if I have to say I need permanent residence, say potrebuje trvalý pobyt. Simple. And then you have to know the name of the documents. For example, say passport is pass, visa is viz, and for contract we say there is a word splova. So if it's a work contract, then pracovní splova. If it's a rental contract, it's nájemní smlouva. Then photo is fotka, and birth certificate is like rodný list. you can check, use a Google Translator, and you can check all those documents. So at least because yes, and another thing is postal stamp, which I forgot. You need to also carry a postal stamp, which would be fees. So for an adult, the fees is like 2,500 Czech crown. So you need a so in Czech we call it kolek. Kolek is postal stamp. So you need 2,500 kc. For a child, I think it's 1,000 Czech crown, the fees. So you need the postal stamp for that as well. So once you know the basic name of the documents, then if the officer will ask you something, then you know what officer is asking. So you can provide that particular document. Okay. So I think once it is done, then it's pretty much simple. Sometimes you might say, what if I don't understand if officer is saying something? Okay, I know what I have to say, like, you know, the name of the documents, but officer could say anything. So there are two ways. One way is MOI declares that they speak 8 languages. So if you are not able to understand, you can say "Ne rozumím," and officer will either he knows English, he will explain you, or he will call any of his colleague, or they can even call an official translator. They will help you with that. So don't worry about that. The only thing is for visa extension, it's okay. But for if you already have applying for a PR, then they expect you to do a basic conversation in English. That's the point. But another way is that you have to predict that what officer could ask possibly, right? One, he might say, okay, once you apply the form, he will say, hey, you can check the status on this website, or he will say your application would be there would be a decision say after 60 days, or we will let you know once your application is approved. So for these 2-3 basic things, you don't have to know the whole sentence, but you can check the basic translation. Okay, what we call for approval, what we call for decision. So these kind of things you can check already in the translation. Okay, so I think that's all if you have to apply for yourself. Now if you want to take the help of any NGO, so in that case what you have to do, there are a few NGOs in Prague. I know one is ICP Praha, another is Charitas, and I think there are more like in Baze and all. But I know Charitas has their office inside the Ministry of Interior itself. I know at least in Prague 4 and Prague 6 they have the office. So if you get the help of these NGOs, they will help you to fill the application form. They will also verify your documents, and they will even come with you to translate. They will come with you to the counter as well. Okay. Yes, the only thing it might happen, because NGOs are also under pressure because a lot of people are approaching him, so it might take some time. So if you want to try yourself, that's also a good way. And another thing, you will need it multiple times. If you live in Czech Republic, many times you'll have to go to the MOI. So this is a good chance to start the process, and this will also a good way to improve your language skills as well. So having said that, that's all. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. And if you like the video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.